Back in 1968, and I was just a kid, my dad took me to this car show, and that's where I saw this cool custom recumbent bicycle. And that started my fascination with recumbents. I built my first one when I was 16 and never did finish it. When I was 22, gosh, I must have spent 5 years designing this rear steer bike. It took me 2 hours to figure out how to ride it. Later on I made this one here that actually I used quite a bit. Here's another one I tried to make, a mid-steer. It didn't work at all. Then there was this one, it was 25 pounds. Managed to blow my knees out on it. Yeah, it was 17 years ago. I since made a quadricycle, and this I took to Burning Man several times. So I've been wanting to get back into shape, but the idea of dragging the quad down to the valley and wasn't a good idea. So I decided to make a cheap recumbent. I didn't want to buy one because I don't know if my knees are going to hold up. So this was made using a $5 thrift store bike, and just the one bike. I pick up 9 feet of round tubing at the metal yard. It's the same gauge as the bicycle frame. The steering post has the only bend in it. I also put a 2-inch slit at the bottom. And this way I'm able to clamp it to the original post of the gooseneck just using 2 hose clamps. I kept it cheap and it works pretty good. And the old gooseneck too, I chopped it off and welded it on top of the steering post. Took the crank and the seat post and moved it up front, and in its place I put a little 3/4 inch square tubing, and then I took some 1-inch tubing and put it in between where the crank was and also added it for the seat supports. The seat came from Walmart, is about $18, and the rack $20, and the cables and the chains, 2 chains, that came at about $65. And I kept the design very similar to my other bike, but I dropped the crank. I like my feet to be low. I cut the steering forks down to get the proper steering geometry. I got small cranks, but hey, it works. Seat doesn't adjust, handlebars don't adjust. But hey, it's a good starter bike. It fits me good and weighs 34 pounds. I like it. Hopefully my knees will hold out and I can enjoy this thing for a while. Get back in shape.